Have you ever had a bad habit, then quit it and judged others for still having it? I know in my life, I've been a smoker in the past. And, other people that used to be smokers would quit, and all of a sudden they'd say comments to me and they'd have something to say and be very negative. Oh, you smell now, you're stinky, or whatever. And I thought, you're a giant asshat, like F off. You had that same habit and now you're turned around and being the exact opposite to me. And then when I quit smoking, which has been a long time ago, like in the early 2000s, I smoked for off and on for like 17 years. And, that's one of the things I promised myself. I wouldn't be that person that quit a habit and then, was really, you're being kind of hypocritical. You had that bad habit, you managed to quit it, but instead of being understanding of the people that continue to have that habit, you're sitting in judgment of them. Like, what's up with that, people? Like, honestly, great for you that you've been able to quit a habit that was bad for you, or, you've been able to shelve it and not do that habit anymore. But other people still have those possible addiction issues, and you're now making it even tougher on them, and you think that maybe you can force them to quit or make them quit voluntarily or whatever the case may be because you're negative about it. And I use smoking as an example part of me because so many people do that. They end up being that person that they used to be a smoker, and then all of a sudden now they're a non-smoker, and they're, giving people dirty looks when they walk into a store because somebody's standing off to the side and having a cigarette. And you can tell by their body language and their death stares that they're now judging that person that's still a smoker, yet months before, maybe years before, they were that same person standing outside having a cigarette, right? So bottom line, you were able to quit your addiction. Again, we're using cigarettes as an example. You were able to quit your addiction, and now you're on your high horse and judging others, maybe saying comments under your breath, or maybe being blunt and saying comments to friends, family, people that you're around. Oh, you should really quit smoking. It's not good for your health. Or, oh man, oh, that smells. Or you're making, I don't want to be around you because you stink, and blah, blah, blah. Think about it. When you were a smoker, did you like people saying shit like that to you or acting differently around you? Now all of a sudden you've quit and now you're on your high and mighty horse and you're going to judge somebody else for their habit? Like, seriously, don't judge other people. You need to just live your life. They need to live theirs. Obviously, you can have a kind conversation with them and say, you know what, John, Sally, I smoked for X amount of years, and I tell you, since I quit, it's not just the savings of money. Food tastes better. I feel better. I don't have those fuzzy boots on my teeth when I wake up in the morning. At least I did when I was a smoker. Just be understanding. Be kind. If you truly want to help somebody break a habit or addiction that they have that is not fulfilling to their health, emotionally, physically, whatever, be kind about it. Talk to them about it and say, listen, I know how tough it can be. This is what I experienced. Don't think that your negative projections of words or body language or whatever the case may be is going to help matters, because it doesn't, right? Don't judge others when you were that same person days before, weeks, months, years before. Be understanding. Try to be enlightening and explain to people what you've experienced and what you've found. If you do it in a kind nature, maybe that's the one little baby step or little nudge they needed so that they can quit that bad habit, right, that they've developed, or that addiction that they have. Again, why do I talk to you about this? I was driving today and somebody tossed a cigarette out a window. And initially my gut response was to be angry about that, because in our city that's littering and you can get fined, I believe it's $700 for tossing a cigarette out. It's considered litter, right? So it's a hefty fine. And I thought to myself, you beep, beep, a few other select things and, about that person that did it. And then I had to think back to in the 17 years that I smoked on and off, did I ever do that? And the answer is yes, I did. Sometimes I didn't have an ashtray, so I'd be, outside a venue or going into a store or whatever, and I just flicked the cigarette. And sometimes there would be an ashtray 20 feet away, but I just, I felt entitled or whatever the case may be, I'd flick that cigarette. So initially my response was to be angry at that person for flicking out the window, but that's being hypocritical, because even though I don't smoke anymore and I don't do that, at one point in time I did. So I'm judging them for their behaviors that I used to have myself, right? So bottom line, be understanding. If people have an addiction or a habit that you used to have that you were able to break, don't judge them. If there's somebody close to you, maybe sit down and say, hey, John, I don't know if you realized or not, I've been quit smoking now for 6 to 9 months. I just wanted to share with you how it has positively impacted my life, right? Not judging you for what you do. Maybe my insight will help you so that you can, break that habit yourself if you actually want to, right? And if you don't, when you're ready, give me a shout. We can, talk about it. Maybe I can be somebody that can support you on the journey of quitting that habit. So again, smoking is just an example that I'm using, but it works in just about anything where people have a habit or addiction, and you may have had it and then quit it and then judge others for not quitting it themselves, or still doing it and making rude comments and making them feel shitty. Life's already hard enough. You need to level up and uplift people and be kind, and don't be a jerk. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. God bless you all. Peace out. And remember, I give a heck.